Hi there, I'm Eli Sipka, and this is the Apatros Review. Now, in the mid-1980s, film producer Charles Band had a rather glorious brainwave. Having seen the rising popularity of the VHS market, and being burned by film distributors who at the time were complete scoundrels, stealing a good deal of profits from wannabe filmmakers, Band decided to create a whole new market, where he would get filmmakers to create films purely to be released onto VHS, without going for a cinema release first, thereby skipping a theatrical release and thereby avoiding the dishonest distributors, and getting a jump on the profits by using the word of mouth amongst those who've seen the films to pump up the reputation with the video store crowd. In other words, Charles Band pretty much created the direct-to-video market. A market that's still going strong even to this day. A market that survived for VHS, DVD, all the video store rental shops, and now, if you include streaming as direct-to-video, which it is in a way, it's still going strong. Now, for his first set of direct-to-video films, Band made a deal with another pioneering filmmaker, gay hardcore XXX flick founder Tim Kincaid, who went on to make a total of 4 films for Band's Wizard video label. These include Breeders, Mutant Hunt, Robot Holocaust, and the subject of this review, The Occultist. And The Occultist was the last film that Kincaid made for Band before he ended the deal. Made a couple more trashy films, then went back to the gay hardcore scene where he remains to this day. Now, The Occultist is like I said, the Kincaid films are pretty much the first direct-to-video films ever made. Ultra low budget, so low budget it hurts. And The Occultist was known in Australia as Waldo Warren, Private Dick of Our Brain. In fact, the thumbnail for this video features the Australian VHS cover. And by the way, there's a little bit of white glare in that bottom half of that picture. But don't worry, just some technical issue when I was taking the picture. Don't worry about that. And also elsewhere is Maximum Frost. Now, this film actually premiered in Japan on the 30th of September 1988, in Australia on the 19th of April 1989, and then finally hit the US on the 11th of October 1989. Now, for the story. After his father's sudden death, fledgling security company Barney Sanford finds himself taking on a contract to provide security for the president of a Caribbean island, who is currently on a trip to New York. Sanford's mentor, Harold Llewellyn, a friend of his late father, tells him he's in over his head, but there is a way to prove his worth. Simply get his father's best employee and trusted friend, Waldo Warren, a mysterious elite bodyguard known as the Gunman, due to being surgically rebuilt after being nearly killed on a job, after guns in his hands, feet, and even his dick. He was still in contract with the Sanford Company to complete his contract helping along this mission. Warren agrees to the job, but after terrorists stormed the embassy in Bali with the president, Sanford, Llewellyn, and Warren find that a rogue colonel from the island wants to stage a revolution to overthrow the presidency. The president's daughter has connections with the rebels. A voodoo queen is providing support to the rebellion, and a rival security corporation is running interference just so they can steal away the contract. Crazy. Now, The Occultist, known also by the alternate titles of Maximum Frost and the Australian title of Waldo Warren, Private Dick of Our Brain, the Australian VHS having awesome cover art that sure got a few people in the very late 1980s to rent it, which is also the picture you see in this index picture for this video. This was Kincaid's swan song for Charles Band, and probably the worst of the bunch. Kincaid tried to make a strange hybrid of low-budget James Bond and some sort of weird voodoo-driven political thriller, only to fall flat on his face, as usual, while failing miserably at deploying a dialogue. The cast are atrocious, with the exception of Rick Gianassi, who later went on to make Sergeant Kabuki Man in NYPD for Trauma, his best role thus far, proving competent here despite the ridiculous material. Everyone else in the cast are woeful. Joe Derrick is supposed to be one of the heroes, but he literally spends the entire film either saying, "What the hell was that?" or "I don't know what the hell is going on," and having the presence of a 6-year-old boy who literally doesn't know what the hell is going on in the story. Everyone tells him you got a lot to learn. Now, the story makes no real sense, being a jumbled mishmash of elements ripped from all over the place. Say what you will about Kincaid's other sci-fi direct-to-video films like Mutant Hunt and Breeders, at least those 2 films were trashy enough to provide some decent chuckles, despite being thoroughly bad films. Here, Kincaid does nothing to alleviate fans of trashy movies, by keeping the film going without any substantial gore effects. Some said a living scene, but nothing that would get the gorehound's attention, or nudity. And the fight choreography is so amateurish that it's nasty to see. Key moment being the fight in the security camera office where Joe Derrick and Richard Mooney fight off a pair of what I describe as ninja butlers, in actuality voodoo assassins, with the lamest punches, kicks, and chair breaks known to man. Now, the Australian VHS release pumps up the concept of the cyborg bodyguard, the Walter Warren character played by Rick Genasi, but even this proves to be a wasted opportunity in Kincaid's inept hands. Although at least Kincaid's spoiled enough to feature the scene where Genasi goes to the men's room, realizes that two assassins are waiting to kill him in the toilet cubicles, then ices him by turning his dick into an automatic weapon. Held just below the frame, but we can still see the muzzle flash break into the bottom of the frame. A crazy scene so far out of left field that most people must be going, holy shit, and replaying the scene a couple of times over to make sure the eyes weren't playing tricks on him. When I first saw this film in late 2005, I rented the VHS tape with the awesome cover from the Civic Video in front of the Forum Shopping Center. I saw at the time the movie was crap, but a machine gun dick scene stayed in my memory for years afterwards. It was also the very first Tim Kincaid film I ever saw, although I didn't realize it at the time. Kincaid's last direct-to-video sci-fi movie is a complete disappointment. As for the verdict, The Occultist goes straight to a D-, 1 out of 10. Equal Robot Holocaust is Kincaid's worst work for Charles Band, and one of the very worst first-generation direct-to-video titles of the late 1980s. Now for gore nudity, very little gore, comprising of severed limbs, some gnarly bullet wounds, and a burnt body. No nudity scene either. And that machine gun dick scene is probably the only scene in the film that's worth watching. Yeah, that's it for The Occultist. D-, 1 out of 10 means it's atrocious. And I should say that even though all of Kincaid's movies have a bad reputation, at least Mutant Hunt and Breeders are the two better than Robot Holocaust and Occultist. And I think Kincaid's best work that he's done is actually a film he didn't direct, but produced, which was Necropolis. And I should point out that Necropolis was actually remade a few years ago, and Breeders was also remade back in the 90s. I'll review those in the future. Okay, that's it for that one. Hope you guys are staying safe. Now, I do not do requests, but if you have any questions about DVDs or films in general, just hit me up in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer. And in case you haven't noticed, I got a hat, new hats. Cool, huh? Or the Zone. Where have you seen that before? Okay, hope you guys are staying safe. Take it easy, and that's it for this review. See ya.